I'm going to show you something. This is an exclusive, Andrew.
Yeah.
No one's seen this. Next year, even though we released, this year we released Charlie Brown Valentine's and with Barnes and Noble and out and about. We're releasing selections from, because these shaped discs, we have a pumpkin disc for Halloween. This is the audio proof. It's going to be red and beautiful next February. You celebrate Valentine's in the UK, right?
I celebrate Valentine's Day every day.
There you go. So this, my legal lawyer brother, producer friend, allowed me to show you today, Andrew, because we're going to be having those in beautiful sparkling red in time for Valentine's next year, along with some other fantastic. We have a few albums planned to come out next year. That one I wanted to just briefly mention is. Well, I can't mention it. That's my lawyer brother in my brain again. But I will tell you this. There's an anniversary of a show coming up. And
Yes.
all next year this year was the 75th of Peanuts. All next year is the 75th anniversary of Vince Guaraldi's recording career inception when he first professionally recorded in 1951. And also it's the 50th anniversary of Vince Guaraldi's since he passed away. He passed away recording It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown in 1976. After the recording session with our father, he went and did a gig right near where I live in Menlo Park, California, and suddenly tragically passed away between sets from a heart attack. So there's a lot to celebrate about his life next year, and I'll talk to you more about that in later here.
Yeah, no, I think it's so important, isn't it, to cherish those moments. And what I love about people on this show, they come along here and they share those sort of moments where we all suffer it. We all suffer loss. I mean, it must be particularly tragic, December the 25th, Christmas Day, 2019, when you lost your father. What's the one sentence, looking at the lens, down the lens now, what's the one sentence you didn't get to say to him, which you'd like to say now?
That's such an interesting question. Here's the thing, Andrew. I connected more with my father in the last 3 years of his life. He had lung cancer, and he didn't know how many years he had left. So I made it a point of twice a month going to lunch with my dad and picking his brain. And just to your point, trying to say everything so there was nothing left unsaid. What I would say is I hope that he's proud of the legacy that we're carrying his legacy and Vince Guaraldi's legacy on with this music. And I know he would be proud of the fact that my brother and I are working together on these projects with such great care because we have such affinity for it. Yes, we're doing well, we're selling these and it allows us to keep making them. But being able to put this music out in the world with the stewardship, the custodial nature that my brother and I are doing it, that's what's important to me. And I know my dad would have been surprised and tickled by the fact that we've had success with these albums. I don't know if he thought there would be such success with them, but it is connecting as a purely musical experience away from the shows. And these were not meant to be soundtracks, but what we've been discovering is that people are able to sit and listen to them and get a truly pleasant feeling come over them. That's the best way to describe it, even though it's a slightly generic thing to say. But you can't help but enjoy listening to Vince Guaraldi when you're, needing a break from reality.
Yeah, and it is those sort of breaks from reality. It is that escapism, as you say. That's what resonates with people. And it must be, as you say, very difficult. A lot of people I know lots of very famous people who have their father's legacy or their parents' legacy or a close family member, which they have to do. How do you work that with your brother? And what are the sort of big arguments that you might have about whether it's creatively or commercially or otherwise?
It's a question I've never been asked, but always wanted to talk about secretly, Andrew, because my brother, the way I look at it, and I've said this publicly, my brother doesn't necessarily see it the same way. If he were here, he would maybe even counter argument, again, in his lawyer-minded perspective, is I am more left brain. I am a creative person. And growing up, I think it was maybe almost as his service. We were labeled as he was like the brain. I was the creative person. But the advantage when we're making these albums is that I come from a more emotional state, a more, let's think outside the box. When it, like for example, the Linky Pumpkin Orange, or for example, when we're doing the picture disc and deciding, like, this is a Barnes and Noble picture disc, and deciding what's going to be on the cover, and you get to see there again the football kicking Charlie Brown. These decisions we definitely have discrepancies and arguments about, and like, what would we like? What would the public like?